Baz Luhrmann's Romeo and Juliet, a visually breathtaking modern update on what is considered by many to be the greatest love story the world has ever known. Kim Barrett started a career in theaters. During 8 years of theater, she gained experience as a costume designer. Her first film was Romeo and Juliet, which was a huge challenge to complete. But she actually was not the first costume designer for Romeo and Juliet. There was another. He was known as Jhonque Almondo, the original costume designer of Romeo and Juliet. This is his story.
Well, my life history is one of great intrigue. My mother was a British ambassador, and my father was a Spanish male prostitute, which he met in South Spain. But it was a hard life, being a child of eccentricity as me. But I entered Yale, which was a great experience. I entered in costuming. I got an opportunity after I graduated, and that's when I was offered the opportunity to design for Romeo and Juliet.
Produced in 1996, Baz Luhrmann's Romeo and Juliet was met with the daunting tasks of retaining Shakespeare's lyrical structure, while updating the setting for the then-contemporary setting of a West Coast corporate gang war. All this was done under an estimated $14.5 million budget, although exactly how much of it was used towards costume design remains somewhat shrouded in rumors and myth.
Budget issues. Well, yes, that resulted after we all went out for drinks, and I was talking to Bass. He's one of the producers, of course, as well as the director. And I discovered my budget was about $3 million for the costumes, and we had a couple of drinks, and I said, you know, Baz, I bet, Baz, he used to call him Buzz, you know, just pissed him off, isn't that right? But I said, I bet you, if I could do this film in $1,500, if I can do that, would you let me keep the rest of my budget for my own gross profits? And he said, yes, of course. And of course, for legal purposes, and of the end, of course, of the bet, I, of course, made him sign a napkin that stated that the bet was true and that he'd hold his part of the bargain. Well, as you can see, I won the bet.
Another one of the more hot topic issues to arise about the production was that of inappropriate hiring practices, specifically sweatshop workers.
I would not call them a sweatshop. In order to keep my end of the deal, the bet, $1,500 production, with costuming, half of the money is in labor. You have to make all those gorgeous costumes. And so I inquired aid in other countries, of course, such as South Korea, Cambodia, South Nigeria, Brazil, Mexico, big time in Mexico. Let me tell you, cheap labor is marvelous. And just because they were 18, they were legitimately of age, those kids, and they got their minimum wage in the country standards, but still, they were not slave labor. In fact, I've adopted one of them myself, taken them into my home. Yes, I've taken care of them.
Already skirting the edge of improper workplace ethics, Jhonque continued to encounter endless criticisms about his on-set antics, particularly those concerning his supposed obsession with star Leonardo DiCaprio.
That was a vicious rumor that was spread. I was just adamant about my costumes. I mean, he has the most intricate of the costumes. I mean, he wears metal, for Christ's sakes. I was frequently on the cast, on the set and whatnot, and just livening up his outfits a bit. I mean, it was my designs. And so, you know, pop button here, there. If you actually pay attention in some of the film, you'll see that his zippers are undone, kind of a little hush-hush thing. But no, Leo was a good friend. There was nothing that went on between us. I think it's tea time. Tea leaf. Tea leaf. Tea time.
These gave way to more accusations and trials, wherein many members of the production's crew, including the film's director Baz Luhrmann, found apparent difficulties in working with Mr. Almondo.
I believe in the full potential of stick figure drawing as renderings for costumings. I mean, if you could see my beginning stick figure renderings compared to the final products, I mean, it's just gorgeous. I mean, I don't believe that I have to fully convey on paper what I am actually going to produce. I mean, it's in my mind, just, I don't want to share it with the world like that. Just take it out of my head and put it on paper. Just put it on paper like that. No, stick figures, it gives people the general idea of what I'm going for. But the secrets, the beauty, the costumes remain in here.
Finally, enough was enough. In order to quell the incessant arguments, rumors, bad publicity, and death threats, director Baz Luhrmann pulled a shocking surprise change in the production's costume department.
Oh, it's okay. We'll get the tea now. Tea leaf. Where's our tea leaf? Did you do tea leaf? Are we going on a trip, tea leaf? Are we going on a trip, tea leaf? I expect you in my quarters after hours to discuss this, tea leaf. May go. But Kim Barrett. Yes, wonderful, talented Kim Barrett comes along. I guess the producers felt that it was not enough that I was on the job. I had gotten all the costumes done, the renderings, the production, the budget, everything was done. But they bring Kim in to, they said, help supervise the costumes a bit. Which that's what it started out with. But this was her first major film herself, like me. And she just started to sort of take over in ways. I noticed it. I noticed the little things that she was doing to take over. The little innuendos, the little criticisms, the little witticisms, the little she was just there all the time. And so later on, after an incident where I was on set again, and I was there was a lot of debris caught on Leo's blazer, it's a beautiful blazer, beautiful LaCroix blazer that I got from dear friend LaCroix. And so after that, I'd come back to the set the next day, and there were 2 guards guarding the set, and they wouldn't let me back on. And my trailer was locked. I had no access to my costumes or the makeup crew, and apparently they had signed over all designing rights. Kim Barrett. Sorry. It was a hard one to come out, wasn't it? Yes, it was. Yes, it was. 4 years therapy, and I can finally say her name without hurting something. Miss Metroids. We do miss you, brothers and sisters, don't we, sweetie? Yes.
So what's next for famed costume designer Jhonque Almondo?
I feel that I've had a lot of great experiences. I've been doing, like I said, I've been in the adult movie market now. I mean, I've gotten many awards, many fisties. I've gotten at least 10 fisties for my design works. And believe me, it's not easy to designing for porn stars, especially the homosexual ones, because, I mean, I've made so many friends, like with Chesty LaRue and Tom Donkey Kong Dong. It's been with people with so much endowments, you know, just...
So can you say anything legitimate whatsoever about Romeo and Juliet as a whole?